Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'll be taking you through my top 10 scariest roller coasters at Alton Towers. Now, this might be the most controversial video you've ever watched, so without further ado, let's leap into it. At number 10, we have the Octonauts roller coaster adventure. Now, this probably didn't come as a surprise. It's a Zamperla Junior coaster and is made for kids. If you didn't know, Octonauts is a show on CBeebies, so yeah, it's basically made for kids. And yeah, well, the scariest part of it is probably when the whale shoots water. But yeah, it's kind of fun and not scary at all. At number 9, we have the Runaway M Train. This is a map power coaster and is not really that scary. Well, there is 2.5G when you do go in the tunnel, and there's quite a few helixes. But the worst part about this ride is because it's so rough and rattly. I swear if you don't come off with a backache, then you sat in the right spot. Anyways, yeah, this is the number 9. It's not that scary. At number 8, and we have Spinal Wizer. Now, this also might come as a surprise because it actually looks really scary off ride. But trust me, when you're on it, it actually doesn't spin as much as you think it would. Ride honestly isn't that scary. I mean, you do think it's going to spin a lot, but it isn't. The scariest part is probably the second drop and also the bunny hop because it's a massive jolt. But the theme is honestly quite nice, not really that scary. And yeah, very kid slash family fun ride. Number 7, and we have Wickman. This is a family GCI wooden coaster. Except from a few airtime moments, like this ride is probably just really, really fun. The only reasons why it could be a bit scary is like fire and like obviously the pre-show is like burn and stuff. It's all scary, but yeah, a lot of kids go on this ride. A lot of brave kids just trying to move their way up to go on more scary rides. This is a good one to go on, I think. Number 6, and we have Galactica. Now, this is a really good one to help get over your fears of inversions. It's very natural inversions, and yeah, the ride is quite smooth, although I think near the end it does get a bit rough, and there's a small rattle. But yeah, this is the first ever being flying coaster. It's quite nice. It's not that intense. Quite slow. It's quite calm, I'd say. And yeah, the only way it can be a bit scary is because like you're flying, so you're like facing the ground. Um, you're not like properly on the track. But yeah, it fits perfectly on number 6. Number 5, and we have 13. Now this ride is actually really quite scary. They're quite scary rides now that I realise Alton Towers. But the theme of this and also, well, it's been like how many years? Like 14 or something. That drop in the dark is actually so scary. Always gets me by surprise. And also, well, the first drop is actually pretty scary. I can't believe it's actually a family coaster. This ride isn't really that fast. I mean, also like 40 miles per hour or something. I'm not sure. It's not that fast, but it's quite like whippy. It actually goes. The first drop's actually quite tall. Yeah, it's a good ride. I like it. At number 4, we have Oblivion. Yes, this might actually come as a shock, but it is quite short, and honestly, it's not as bad as you think it is. When you see it, it looks like it's so big and scary. With a very thick track, but honestly, it's quite like well, the drop you don't really get much airtime, but it does pack a punch. Like it is quite good. Only if it was a bit longer, it could probably be a bit higher because it'd be more scary and stuff. But yeah, it was world's first. What does make this scary is obviously the anticipation about it. The way it just hangs you over that drop vertically is very scary. And also, well, the left tail, it's just like kind of steep, and you can just see the sky and like, oh, so scary. Number 3, and we have Nemesis Reborn. This ride is actually quite scary. Well, it has quite a lot of G-force, a very intense helix. You're obviously hanging underneath the track, and that vertical loop is honestly pretty scary. Yeah, and also the anticipation of it when you're just walking around the queue line and you see this huge track, and you just see the train going around it. It looks really scary, but yeah, it's got promoted to number 3. It probably used to be like 4 or 5, but now it's way more intense. Reborn. At number 2, and we have Rita. This is an Intamin hydraulic launch coaster and is honestly really scary. Like that launch, it's so weird because it takes so long for it to like actually launch at the beginning, and then it just suddenly goes and you honestly get the tummy feeling even though you're not even going down. It's so intense. The rest of it, not really scary. It's quite rough, but yeah, it's very short. And number two. At number one, we have the Smiler. This opened up in 2013 in May, and well, yeah, it's a gas lower infinity coaster and holds the world record for the most inversions on any roller coaster in the whole world. You can't say this ride ain't scary, but honestly, the scariest part of it is probably that second airtime hill. It's just intense. I personally don't find this ride scary. I just find it fun. But yeah, for most people, this is probably like the scariest ride in the park. So that's why it has to be number one. Um, Also, when you go vertically, that's pretty scary. So yeah, this is by far number one. Yeah, you have to be pretty brave to go on this ride, but it is very, very fun. And if you go on it, you're guaranteed to have a good time. Anyways, guys, if you like this video, please make sure to like, subscribe, and share this with as many people as you can. See you later!